Well, hello. So this is like our final class. This would be the final moments of a final class. Um, our opportunity to say goodbye. I call this what is essential for a life well lived, because I want to talk for just a few minutes about that. I guess if we were together, I would say, what do you think is essential for a life well lived? We've looked at everything from prenatal to death, and with all of that information and all that your own life experience has given you, what would you say it is? What are the greatest values that you can hold? And the values are the things that you're going to invest your time, energy, and money in, because those are your three personal resources: your time, your energy, and your money. And so what is it that you want to spend those on in this beautiful, messy, lovely life of yours? So think about it a moment. And so then I will share with you a few things that I think. I think there's many things. There can be many things. Of course, I am going to say this. I believe that a life well lived is one also in which we have a deep connection to self. We learned back in 0 to 2 how important attachment is, and that we are experience expectant. We are born expecting to attach. And it's my hypothesis in this life that we are going to self-right that attachment, or we're going to seek to. If we, with whatever happens, if we don't get the attachment through human connection that's healthy and strong and good, we will seek it in other ways. And I think that one thing that can really help us to make sure that we don't, necessarily spend too long seeking it in unhealthy or not good for us ways is to cultivate a deep connection to ourself. And that's, a big S self. Big S self. Our small S self can be the one that gets worried and anxious and can live out some of this, the daily grind of life and can do these little things. And the big S self is the one we find when we are still and we are quiet. And we enter that doorway deep inside ourselves where all is well and we are okay. When we link to ourselves, when we become friend to ourselves, when we find within ourselves that wise old self, and we can do that through mindfulness. We could create a visualization where we go in and we imagine the wisest version of ourselves, the one that has the best answers and choices for our good. And if we sit in quiet and we breathe and let go, we can find that. And if we can just get a glimmer of it now and then, and we can return to it and know that we have a place that we can always go, then home becomes wherever we are, wherever we can breathe into, and in that place, we can have clear self-sight and honest self-assessment. We can see clearly our motives, our desires, our wishes, our hopes, our fears, our feelings. We can assess our actions honestly. We can say, oh, that was out of greed. And we can do it with compassion and empathy for ourselves, and know that it doesn't wholly define who we are, but that we can grow by seeing it, by naming it, and then choosing maybe differently the next time. We can accept and forgive and offer ourselves guidance. I don't know that this is something we teach, and I don't know that it's something that we do. I just think that it's really valuable. The one relationship we will go through this life with from beginning to end is the one with ourselves. And so cultivating it, I think, is the most valuable thing we will ever do. I think that living and giving your gifts is really important. Integrate your gifts and your passion. If you can find that spot where what you love and what comes to you and you have an innate desire to learn about and you can grasp, then you've hit that sweet spot of life. And do that. Be that. And you know what? It doesn't necessarily have to be. One way that we find this for ourselves is think about the things in life, times in your life when you fall into flow. And flow is what we get when we lose time. When what we're doing we love so much and feels so right, and we are in the moment with it, that we don't notice how much time is clicking by. That we don't, that we know we're in the right place doing the right thing. And then if you can find like 3 of those times in your life, even if they're doing different things, what are the qualities within them that bring you that sense of flow? Is it learning? Is it like I had a student once who, for him, it was really about like coordinating and organizing things. I mean, that was his love. And even if he found it in like one in schoolwork, but one in some club he was in, and one in something else he was doing, it was that quality. If you can find that which you love that strings together different times, then you're getting really close to home in terms of your purpose. What's going to be that string that guides you through life? As I have come into middle age, when I came into middle age, my prayer to life became, use me well. And I think that's the prayer of generativity. And so some may not be there yet, but when we get there in life, use me well. And it allows us to let go of what it looks like to do what we do, what format it's in. And it's the doing of it that brings such joy. And then, of course, loving and connecting. Finding people with whom you are seen, heard, and known. Find at least somebody. Find your own tribe, and it can be small. But just like those middle childhood children and adolescents need a tribe, we all need a tribe. Even if it's one person who really sees, hears, and knows us, and loves us for all of it. For all of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. But you have to be willing to open yourself to seeing, knowing, and hearing others. And being willing to embrace their good and bad and ugly too. And, so seeking that out. And then opening ourselves to that bigger picture with wisdom. Blending that head and heart and all that has been and is into that integrated whole. Finding perspective, a bigger picture, to see how every step has led us to where we are right now at this moment. And having a little bit of a sense of humor about it. And I am a very serious human being. But I definitely, and I thank my mother for this, have learned in life not to take to be able to laugh with a friend about, the idiot things I've done and said, the mistakes that I've made, the ways that I've viewed life that really didn't pan out so well, to have a little bit of sense of humor about it all. To be able to hold duality. And this happens, I think, with age too, that, we are this and that. We can be great and compassionate and gifted and wonderful, and we can be selfish and argumentative and nasty at times, that everything in life is this and that. It's not all going to be great or bad. It's going to have that blend and that mixture, and we come to be able to hold them both, with a sense of appreciation, that we're willing to take risk with our hearts and know that it's the only way we grow, and that we can live with regret, that we can look back and grow. Aging is, we lose a little bit of the, some of that just splendor of that early childhood, but we gain something too, something really lovely. So I send you away. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than the ones you did do. So throw off the bowline, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. Discover you, explore you, and move forward into this life with your arms and your heart open, knowing too that that is a risk. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be a very best friend to yourself. And in doing so, you will be that much more for those in your life. Know that it won't all be easy, that some of it will be deeply messy. And in that we grow too. I wish you the very best of all that there is, of all that you dream of. and of all that you are. Remember that it will all come with greater grace if you work too on the being nature. And so I leave you with that. Be well, take care, and breathe deep. Bye. Oh, it has been my pleasure and my honor. Thank you for being here with me through this.